Good evening, I am the Mainly Digger, and tonight's vlog is about Maine. And I mean, not just about Maine, it's not another Maine vlog. As you all know, I'm going home in a couple of days. I'm so excited, I'm going back to Maine. If you didn't know, I'm from Maine and I've been living in Chambersburg for a year doing military orders. I haven't seen my wife and kids for over 6 months. I can't wait to see them. I mean, I've Facebooked them and we've talked on the phone, but I haven't actually I can't wait to get home. But that's not what this vlog's about. This vlog is my hit list. My top, maybe 10, maybe more, maybe less, I don't know, of places I am so excited. If I had the chance, I would definitely do it. Detect or get a personal tour of that place, the building, property, whatever you want to call it. This is my top 10, and if I get the chance, I'll do it. I've contacted some of these people, and I mean, obviously they haven't emailed me or contacted me back, but I'm trying to set stuff up so I have content when I get to Maine, because I mean, there's places in Maine I can metal detect with ease. I just don't have any real permissions. I mean, I don't have any. I mean, I have contacts in Maine, but I've never had to ask for permissions to detect in Maine. So I'm excited. We'll see where this takes me. I cannot wait. I can't wait to get back to Maine. All right, Mainly Dig Out. Here's my hit list. So my number one, we're gonna start off at the top. By far, my number one place that I want to metal detect is the property that the Travis Mills Foundation is set on. It is, not only is it owned by Travis Mills. Travis Mills is like a legend in Maine. He is a vet, Army vet. He was a staff sergeant. He retired staff sergeant. He was medically discharged because he was a quadriplegic. He IED hit him and he lost his limbs. But he didn't let that hold him back. Like he set up this foundation for vets, not just vets, amputees. Like, I don't know, his drive to be a better person and to help people out is amazing. Anyway, he bought this property, or his foundation bought this property, which is owned, or one time was owned by Elizabeth Arden. That's Arden. It was like a salon back in the day. Not a salon, but like a place for women to go and relax. It was back in the 20s, 30s. I'll show you pictures. It's an amazing property. It's an amazing stretch of property, and what he's done with the property and for our vets is absolutely amazing. Thank you, Travis Mills. And on to our next one. My second pick is the Kennebec Arsenal. Like, I would love to detect on this property and get a tour of the building, because it's creepy. Like, it's just creepy. It's a historic property. It was built or brought up in 1828, and before that, it was in use during the Revolutionary War. It was built up because of the border dispute between New Brunswick and Maine, and his properties and stuff like that, or the property dispute. That's what I was looking for. It's just a creepy place. It was used as a home for the mentally ill, Maine's mentally ill, until I think 2004. So it has a creepiness that I would love to explore it, but just the property around it, it's a historic property front. I would love to metal detect there and see what you'd find, the random things you would find. But like, if you ever go to Augusta is like the weirdest capital city you could ever go to. It's close to Fort Western, which is a French and Indian fort that was built, and I mean, that's cool, but like, there's a little road that goes down to the Arsenal, like coming from the hospital, and like, if you're from Maine, you know what I'm talking about. It's just creepy. Like, the building is creepy. Like, oh man, I'm so excited. If I ever get permission to go into that building, or to detect, I would be like, that would make my day. That would, like, I would be good for at least a month. All right, next one. My third choice is a castle in Maine. It's a freaking castle. It's called the Oakland Estates, or just Oakland, but I call it the Gardner Estates. Anybody from Gardner, Maine would correct me without a doubt and say it's the Oaklands. The Gardner Estates is an estate. It is a huge piece of property in Gardner, and it's a castle. But and I'll show you pictures, but it was granted, the property was granted to the Gardner family in the 1800s, and actually was taken away by the state during the Revolutionary War because the owner was a loyalist, but it was taken back over by a Gardner, Gardner, I forgot his name, but he became the first mayor of the town and city of Gardner. Gardner is so rich in history. Not the best place to visit. Like, there's not a lot of crime there. Well, there's kind of a lot of crime there. That's a lie. But there's so much history there. It's an interesting place, and you definitely have to go through Gardner regardless. But yeah, the Oakland Estates it's a castle. What else I want to, it's a castle in America. I definitely want to go check it out, and the surrounding property. It stayed in the Gardner family, and it's still owned by Gardners, which is cool to me. Like, I definitely want to call them up and be like, hey, can I go detect on your property? Go detect your castle. Oh my God, I would love to go detect that property. All right, our next one. My fourth is Togus, Maine. Togus is a VA hospital in Maine. It is one of the first, if not the first, veterans hospital in the United States. It was established after the Civil War in 1866. In 1867, there was over 200 veterans living at the hospital or receiving treatment at the hospital. I would love to go metal detecting on there. As much as I disagree and have my issues with the VA in Maine and the system, Togus is like, I would love to go detecting there. There's some of the older buildings that are still there, but by far, Togus does not look the same as it did in 1866. I wouldn't call it so much as a modern hospital, but it is fairly modernized and set up for veterans. When you go there, the service is good. It's the in-between parts that I have an issue with. But metal detecting, I would love to go metal detecting there. There's another huge property. Like, it is a huge property with a lot of history, a lot of personnel and people going in and out of there. People dying there, unfortunately, but there is a cemetery. But I know it's one of those places that I've been there multiple times throughout my life for different things as a veteran, and my father worked there for a time. But it's just a different place. It is a different atmosphere. I would love to metal detect there and get like a full tour, a full historic tour of the property. The fifth one is another one of my favorites. I have a personal connection to it. I've been in it multiple times. I haven't had a real tour, but I've been in it. Is the Opera House and City Hall in Waterville, Maine. My wife and I were married in the City Hall and Opera House. It's gorgeous. I've been there for multiple different functions through the Opera House. Gorgeous. It was built in 1898. Like, it's so crazy because you go, like, when I go in there, I could see like it has a 1920s feel or a 1930s feel, a Prohibition feel. Like, I could almost imagine like Elliot Ness walking around the corner and like with the hats and the smoking and like the overcoats, and it just has that feel, that look. It has amazing wood on it, a wood trim, wood doors. It's well taken care of. The police department was there for a long period of time. They're in a newer building now, but it's just an amazing building. Like, just, I would love to get an actual historic tour of it and see, like, just to hear the history and hear the tales and hear, you know, and go, like, I've seen the theater part of it, but I haven't seen, like, everything else around it. It's just a great place. And there's like a little strip that I'd love to go metal detecting on. It's like a little park, but it's like it's just in an odd spot. Would love to go metal detecting on it. It has like, you know, cannons there. Like I mean, obviously not in use, but would love to go metal detecting on it. I said it like 3 times already. But awesome spot, awesome building. All right, our next one. My number 6 choice is the post office in Waterville. And it's right on Main Street. It's right in the downtown. It is the oldest building in Waterville. Mainly Brews, which is my favorite pub in Maine, in Waterville in general. It's like it's the place I go no matter what. I can walk there. I know everybody. It's my cheers is what it is. But above it, because Mainly Brews is below it, above it is the post office. It's not a functioning post office anymore, but it is the oldest building there. You can't really do any metal detecting. It's physically impossible, but I would love a tour of the building by far. And someone who knows the history of the building and details and stuff like that, I would love a tour of that building, and I'll show you pictures. I'll show you pictures in all of these, but like, I would love a tour of that building. My 7th pick is the Major Reuben Colburn House, which was built in 1765 and is the location where Benedict Arnold planned, plotted, collected boats for his expedition up the Kennebec River, which was a dumb idea, into Quebec. Failed expedition, dumb idea, but I would love to metal detect in that area on that property. I think it's been done, and I forgot who, there was a TV show on either Discovery or History Channel where they covered that. I would still love to detect it and love to get a tour of it. I'm pretty sure you can get a tour of it, or I can get a tour of it. It's located in Pittston, Maine, or Pittsfield, Pittston or Pittsfield. Let me check. Pittston, I was correct. Pittston, Maine. It is. I would love to get a tour. You can. I think it costs I think it's like $5 to get in. Maybe, I don't even know what the price, but it would be a great tour. So much history. I would love to go detect that spot, but we'll see. We'll see. It's in Pittston. I don't get to Pittston that much. All right. So my 8th and final one, I'm cutting this short. I gotta get to bed. Is Kents Hill Primary School. It has been around since 1894. It was started by a Revolutionary War hero. To get his name correct, I'm looking. Luther Sampson. He was from Massachusetts, but it's just like it's a good school. It's more religious. There's a lot more religion to it, but it's still a good. I mean, not that religion makes it a bad school, but it's a preparatory school for college. But it's on a historic property. It is there's so much history in that property. It sits in a weird place. It sits in the middle of like a couple of different towns. It's like purgatory, I guess, is the best way to describe it. Not a bad spot. It's just purgatory. There's a bunch of farm fields around it, and then there's this school with like its Gothic buildings and stuff like that. It's an amazing school with a lot of history and a lot of education all thrown into one. A lot of success from from individuals that have graduated from that school. It was the founder was a Methodist, so there's a lot of religion into that goes into the programming, the educational programming. As far as I know, I've only been there like twice, and that was for sporting events as a child or as a high school student. A very interesting place, just different from your normal high schools, and there's so much history there. Like, you go there and the gyms are just so old, but like it's just cool. I would suggest, if you have the opportunity to go to any of these spots that I've suggested. There's so many historic spots in Maine in general. I can't, like, I want to go to them all. I want to tour them all. I want to metal detect on all of them. I want to get the history from all of them, because they've all played their part in history, in Maine history and the history of the colonies. Like I said, in Maine, there's not a whole bunch of Civil War history, although multiple Americans, multiple Mainers have gone off to fight in the Civil War or in any conflict. There's so much history in Maine that's untold and unspoken that people don't know about, that it's word of mouth, or it's written down and not taught in schools, that people have forgotten about it. It's there, and you just have to look at the facts and the evidence and do the research. And there's so much interesting stuff in Maine, and that's pretty much true of anywhere else. I'm lucky though, a lot of the older buildings are still up in Maine. Pennsylvania, and especially in Chambersburg, have taken them down through growth of its city, finances and stuff like that. But Maine is still keeping them up there. Like, it doesn't matter if they're decrepit and old, we're still keeping them because they're our history. All right, Mainly Dig Out. Thank you for watching this far. Y'all have a good day.